Welcome to On the Go with us, and we have in Montgomery, Alabama, one of the most amazing, well, we have a lot of amazing places, but we have one of the best kept secrets in the state, and that is our Museum of Art, and it is incredible. There has been a lot of buzz lately about something new there, which is a sculpture garden, and we have with us this morning basically one of the major forces in spearheading this, Barrie Harmon, as you do with so many things in this town, and thank you. That's what makes Montgomery great.
That's right.
It really is. And Angie, you are the new director for the museum. You have just been hired, and I hear nothing but amazing things about you, Mrs. Dodson. It's nice to have you.
It's good to be here.
And we want to let our audience know, we're going to start first with how does something magnificent like the sculpture garden, how does that come to be?
Virginia, we've been very fortunate that Museum Origin was a centerpiece of the Blount Cultural Park. And we have a very pastoral setting out there. We're very fortunate. Most museums have a downtown setting, a metro setting. They don't have the opportunity to have expansion. 4 or 5 years ago, our previous director, Mark Johnson, had a vision to let's create an outdoor sculpture garden. And we formed a committee, and we went to the National Museum in Dallas. We went to the Outdoor Sculpture Garden Museum in New Orleans. We went to Vero Beach. We went to upstate New York in order to get some concept that we thought we could pull together and make ours something special. Once we realized that this was something that was going to have some momentum and a reality to it, we formed the Sculpture Garden Committee. We hired the Bargainier firm to design the project, and we started raising money, and fortunately we had a very generous benefactor in John and Joyce Cadell that really
they're wonderful.
Really made this this become a reality actually, and it's named the Joyce and John Cadell Sculpture Garden. And what it's done really is it's added a new dimension to the museum. The museum historically had been 4 walls, a roof, and artwork on the walls. Now we've got an outdoor setting. And what it's going to do, it's going to enhance the museum experience. It's going to bring a different type of patron to the museum. And it's really going to be something special. It's going to be outdoor sculpture, it's going to be entertainment, it's going to be a garden for leisure, and it's going to be a children's activities. So it's going to attract a lot of different type of museum patrons. It's going to increase the membership, and it's going to be something that is really going to add another dimension to the Blount Cultural Park. We're very fortunate, very fortunate. And but it was a consummate idea and efforts of a lot of people that initiated with Mark's vision. Angie coming on board has kept the momentum going, and we are very fortunate to have her to lead the charge going forward with the museum and the garden as well. And so there's something special for Montgomery, very special, and both of us are very proud to be part of it.
So it's completed and ready for viewing right now.
It's open to the public. Opening was the 25th of September, and so it's now open
about a month.
7 days, not closed on Monday possibly.
Yes.
And we've attracted a lot of attention.
Great.
And you know, museums sometimes has kind of an intimidating personality and attitude and philosophy about who goes in and out. But this has really added a big umbrella of public appeal to it.
Well,
it's going to be amazing.
It's a multifaceted venue that we've not had before. And I was looking at some of the sculptures, and it's fun. I love the fact that there are a lot of them that make you smile. And I think that Barrie, and maybe you had also said, Angie, a lot of the artwork is Alabama artist?
Right, so the opening of the sculpture garden actually coincides with Alabama's celebration of its 200th anniversary, and in recognition, the vast majority of the artists whose work is on view in the sculpture garden are Alabamians. So folks can come in and approach it from that angle, or as you say, the work is fun. It is colorful.
It is.
It is imaginative. It sort of gets your mind going. So it was really fun the day of the public opening to see people meeting the art for the first time and to see how comfortable they felt in the space. you know, those of us who maybe didn't grow up going to museums, it might just be more comfortable to be outside with art rather than in the galleries.
And we really want to add more culture to those who have not had those experiences.
Yes.
I loved, and you'll have some slides for us too, the sculpture, the horse made out of the driftwood. Things that when I saw that, I thought, you know, there's so many things that I could do with a lot of things. And what we'll spark is we'll spark that imaginative, creative essence in people that maybe wouldn't have that otherwise.
Right. The Butterfield sculpture of the horse is a great example of a number of pieces in the sculpture garden that are made from found objects. And I think based on the time that we spent with the public and the garden at the public opening, people definitely found resonance in those pieces. They have that feeling like, I could do that. I can look around me and sort of see old things in new ways. So the Butterfield piece is a great example, and it sort of ties to a work in our permanent collection, one by Charlie Lucas, that sits also on the museum's grounds, and it's a sculptural group also of horses, but made with scrap metal pieces. So I think
the Tin Man.
The Tin Man, exactly. But I think people will have things in the sculpture garden that will allow them to see pieces on our permanent collection through sort of a new lens.
That's great. We need to let our viewers know that we're the museum as part of the Blount Cultural Park, which was a gift from the Blount family. This is what I call, when I bring somebody new to Montgomery that's never been here before, there's certain awe factors that you go and go, awe, you know? And when you come into that cultural park, when you see the Shakespeare Theater, it's an awe factor. The museum is also in that realm. So now you're open 6 days a week?
We are. We are Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay. And you're right in the heart of town, actually.
Well,
Nowadays.
actually, this is the center of Montgomery as far as
that's it.
expansion east and so forth.
Yes.
And,
I mean, you're
and that's why
smack
it's attractive and accessible to the entire city. And also, the sculpture that Angie alluded to is primary Alabama artist, but what makes it so unique is so diverse. I mean, it's some people call it playful, some people call it unique, but every piece of sculpture is totally different next, so you don't get bored walking through a park and seeing the same stuff.
Each one has its own story.
It does.
Which is wonderful.
You have a beautiful glass exhibition there right now that is just breathtaking. So there are so many things to see. It's just absolutely a jewel for the eyes. And we'll have you back and concentrate on other things that can be done there. Your gift shop with Alabama items, a lovely, one of the best lunches you will ever have.
Yes.
Jenny Weller.
Yes.
I love to go and go through the museum and have lunch while I'm there.
That's nice.
So we'll get you back to concentrate on some other things. In the meantime, thank you so much from the bottom of our heart to Joyce and John Cadell.
And thank you for all
Barrie,
the hard work you do in this
for
community, young man.
everything.
Collaborative effort. Nobody does anything by themselves.
But
Absolutely.
you know how to put a team together. Leslie Sanders, all of you came together and you've created something to share with us, and we thank you.
Well,
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure.
Stay with us and we will be right back.